So next up, we have someone who I know very well, and this is going to be quite the presentation. We have Richard Norton, co-founder of Giant, talking about making augmented reality great again. Norts, over to you.
Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. You can see here that I've adopted a sort of hostage-taking look today, as if I'm sort of like somewhere very sort of obscure. But yeah, thanks very much. I will say about the title, it's all about, isn't it? Advertising, about luring people in. I took a high-risk gamble that Trump would lose the election, because otherwise, if he had it would be really awkward now. But yes, make augmented reality great again. That's what I want to talk about in the next 4 minutes or so, really. Just to introduce who I am, that's me, co-founder of Giant. We're a creative startup based in Bristol. What you actually see there on screen, what is that manifestation? That is essentially 3 AR Snapchat lenses in a sort of pop art style, where basically style transfer, AI creativity has been applied to it. So if you look at the one in the top left-hand corner, that's actually an image of me through the medium of processed cheese, which is kind of interesting. If I was a processed cheese company, I'd be thinking, oh, that's a cool thing we could do with our audience, couldn't we, with customers? Below, you've got rice, you've got jelly beans, you've got pasta. That one there is really mad, because it's just a thing we created to see if we could make the world pasta-like. And it's had something about like 800,000 photographs taken with it. And it's all been completely organic. So I'm thinking to myself, if Giant could do that when we're doing it as experiments rather than just our clients, why aren't other brands grasping this? So very quickly, if you look at the Gartner hype cycle here, you go looking for AR. This is the 2020 hype cycle. Go on, have a look for AR. Go on, have a look for AR. Can you see it? No, you can't. You know why? Because it's no longer considered an emerging technology. It's very much part of the mainstream. So I think if we're looking forward to 2021 and you're thinking about your kind of plans and your creativity and what you're going to do to engage audiences, I certainly think that AR should be a very, very central part of it. Let's move on. This is like this is an interesting thing when people say, oh, I don't understand AR lenses. What's the point of it, Snapchat? Customers don't want to use that. I don't get it. Here's the point, right? So Snapchat made an anime lens not very long ago, about a month. And as you can see from that stat there, it basically got 3 billion plays in less than a week. Why was that? Because it was a really nice kind of machine learning driven experience. But essentially, it just looked really cool on the lens. When you think about it, you can do all this stuff on everybody's life support machine, which is what, literally about 1 meter from anybody at any time. Okay, now there is AR that exists in the world. This is IKEA did this with a thing so you can place things in rooms. That's really cool. That's done with an app. That's brilliant AR. This is Warby Parker in America. This is really cool. It's a really obvious thing to do. You want to try out spectacles. Warby Parker don't have any stores. You try them on your face in wherever you are, right? Brilliant experience, right? Never done Warby Parker any harm, right? Here's another example from Mulberry in Tokyo. It gets an app, and you can actually do the whole kind of shopping experience by getting close to the bag, try it out. You can change features. It's really amazing. But I really want to talk, in the time I got left, to talk about social AR, which is essentially the sort of augmented reality you can do, as I say, on a phone. You can do it on Snapchat. You can do it on Instagram. You can do it on TikTok. You can do it on Facebook. And obviously, who even knew that you could do it on Pinterest? Yes, you can. So this is a cool moment for me now, because I can just leave this up on screen for the next 1 minute. Essentially, this is a whole bunch of different lenses, some that we've created, some we haven't. My point is, I guess what I'm trying to get over is that if you think about audiences and what they want from mobile technology, what they want to experience in terms of joy and wonder is creating things that actually make them stop in their tracks. What's a really interesting experiment? Did something last week organically, whereby we just made a lens, a cricket lens, to time with the IPL, just to see if it would work. And you can see it flash it very briefly on there. Again, there was no media behind it. It was just put in the world. And again, within 24 hours, it had 200,000 images taken on it. So in a space like Snapchat, there are an audience that are already there that want to experience this stuff. They want to try it out. They want to play with it. They want to have fun with it. They want to have some kind of escape from the world. So there's something, and it's more than just putting something on faces. You can gamify it. You can do interesting things in terms of taking people through to portals. You can teach people things with it. You can use it as target markers to place some things, to give them information. You can do an absolute wonderland of things. What I think people worry about, does it take a lot of time? No, it's very simple. It's very democratic. It's very fast. You can have an idea idea, you can create it literally a few days later. That's pretty much what I have to say. I say to you, looking into 2021, is very much, if you want to do something to get attention to people, right, just like Bill Bernbeck said back in the day, I say use augmented reality. Make augmented reality great again. Scott Galloway said that. Nothing wonderful if you don't take a risk. Do you know what, Tom? It's time for people to take more risks. Thank you very much. I am done.
Thank you so much, Norts. Unsurprisingly, very entertaining presentation. Thank you so much. So one thing that surprised me in that presentation was there was the example of the chair in the living room, and there was the glasses on the face. And I did that deck about 10 years ago, pretty much with those examples. So why has it taken such a long time for AR to make it into the mainstream?
I don't know. It's really curious, Tom. It's really curious insofar as I remember the first time I encountered AR as an opportunity to use it in 2011, and it was basically taking paper and bringing videos to life by holding the phone up and marking on the paper. And it worked really well. It was for a retail company, and I kind of thought, well, this is it now. You'll never create anything that's printed that doesn't have AR. I think personally, what's kind of made this stuff brought it back to experience and people to use it. It's simply the likes of, really, if you want to say who's the pioneer, who leads the way, it's social media, it's Snapchat doing it. I think there are other factors as well, the ability of what phones can do now, what you could do 10 years ago, what you do now. I would say that those examples you talk of 10 years ago, they would have been really, really shitty, clunky experiences, whereas now these things are pretty seamless and pretty nice.
So is there a danger that AR in that mainstream sense in Facebook and Snapchat, it's too silly? That the examples that you showed, there's pizza, there's reconstituted cheese, there's cricket. Does AR need to grow up to be great again?
I think you can have the choice. Ultimately, it depends what is the product or service that you're trying to sell. If you're a retail brand, if your audience is young, I don't think there's anything wrong with being silly, being crazy. Think about like the experience of, I saw recently the new Borat film that came out. There was an absolutely fantastic Borat lens that no doubt was an amazing success. I think to myself, why don't all kind of movie promotions or television shows, or why don't, say, sports affiliations, why don't they, there's this tribalism, isn't there, where people associate with the brands they love. Why aren't more people, I implore more people to do that kind of stuff and actually bring your tribe closely to you by putting your brand onto them.
Norts, that's a very powerful rallying cry. Anyone out there, if you want to do AR, go and see Norts at Tiny Giant.